Okay, hello everyone. Here we're back again. It's been a while. I hope you're all doing well. So right now we're just going to continue the live stream that we've been doing for the past few times, and we're going to conclude. I want to conclude the topic of Neo-Confucianism. I think we've spent a lot of time on there. Basically, we're Confucianists in the Song Dynasty era. Wanted to reform Confucianism. They were being influenced by Buddhism and perhaps Taoism as well, and they needed to make Confucianism a bit more relevant, and also to counter Buddhism and Taoism, which they saw as being a little bit unrealistic or perhaps not good for the country. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue with this. Let me just make sure of something here. Just wait 1 second. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's all good. I hope you're all doing well. And once again, if this is the first time you've been here, this is Christian Basar with the Historical Thoughts and Interpretations podcast. Okay, so I think we're good. I'm just gonna unpause here. Okay, it's been a while since I've done this. So who are the loafers here? Okay, we're running low on some food. Have a lot of people here. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, let's get the gardeners back to work here. What? Blacksmiths, clay miners, stonemasons, ranchers. Okay. Well, again, this game is all about managing numbers and so on. So I hope you're all doing well. Please, if you don't mind, I've been playing around with the numbers a little bit. Or, not numbers. With my, volume numbers. So I wanted to increase I wanted to decrease the music volume a little bit, and I wanted to increase the sound of the game a little bit. So we'll see how this is now. I think I struck a good mix. I did a bunch of tests earlier, but yeah. So I think that's good. So we'll just see how it is now. All right. So let's continue. So we've been talking about Neo-Confucianism, as I said. So what about, so Keenan, one of the scholars I've looked up for these sources, as a source for Neo-Confucianism in the Song Dynasty. So last time we talked about the ideal of a scholar official, right? So with the Neo-Confucianists were saying that an official should be a scholar, should be well studied in Confucian works. So Keenan says that the ethical classics and moral commentaries on Confucian texts. So the question at that time was, how do these texts connect with human nature? And also, the classical histories were also seen as being moral lessons. They were shown to give moral lessons. Like, in the Old Testament, we have stories like Samson. Samson is, there's not necessarily a direct lesson there, but you can see things about pride. You can see things about being, abandoning the ways of God or going against God's commands, and this can lead to problems. But also Samson, there's also some redemption as well. So this is the same idea. Looking at the classical histories in Chinese history and looking at the Confucian text, what do they tell us about human nature? What do the histories tell us? Oh, wait. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we have coal stokers. We have a lot of coal stokers, but ooh, we're really running low on money. That's my problem. Can I increase? Oh, I haven't unlocked heavy tax yet. Okay. All right. How many scholars do I have working on stuff, actually? Scholar. Where's the scholar? Speaking of scholars. Let's reduce scholars a little bit. Academy. Let's reduce a little bit. Yeah, because they do take a little bit of time. How many armies do I have? You know what? I am going to get rid of these guys. I didn't kill anybody. Why is it going, being all dramatic? Okay, let's reduce. Ooh, yeah, they're really expensive there. So, okay, we need people at the gates, I think. Where's the gate guard? Where's the gate? Okay, well, I haven't heard any warnings about raiders coming in or anything like that, so let's do that. This is a big map, so it takes a long time for people to go around. Okay, here's a Buddhist monastery here. And they reduce the crime rate. Oh, wow, their range is quite wide. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. We have a lot of coal. Okay, so then moving on from the ideal, where everybody's trying to go to the ideal of previous Confucian texts and ideology and so on, what about the reforms themselves? So we've talked about Neo-Confucianism, kind of the background behind it, the ideology, the philosophy, and so on, going back to the Confucian ideals, at least according to the Neo-Confucian reformers. But what about the reforms themselves? So one primary practical concern was land reform, to make sure everyone had enough land and resources, not just partitioning the land so that people's labor could be exploited, according to William de Bary. Cheng Sai, from the year 1020 to 1077, quoted the Confucian Analects thusly: "When the people have plenty, their prince will not be left alone in want." Sorry. When the people have plenty, their prince will not be left alone in want. Oh, I read it right the first time. If the people are in want, their prince cannot alone enjoy plenty. So it's kind of this top-down, but also not really top-down, but kind of bottom-up way of thinking of things. So Cheng Sai was advocating decentralized feudal land system as, quote, the sages had in mind. So remember this idea of a sage scholar, a sage ruler. Okay, good, my money's going up. Okay, fulfilled. Taxation, they're a little bit upset about that, but I mean, I could just increase it later on, so be careful. Oh, that's a really good ruler there, isn't it? Okay, what's happening here? The tea house. We don't have enough coal. That's the problem. Okay, where... how many lumber people do I have? Lumberjacks? I don't have that many. We have a lot of wood, though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another charcoal kiln over here. Yeah, because we really need to increase. A lot of this game is about, you know, hey, we have lots of this, but we don't have a lot of this. Let's focus on this. Yeah, because see, a lot of tea houses and spice shops, they require this to make spices and so on. So I'm actually just curious. What about finance? What about tourism? Okay. Tourist. Okay, so we've had quite a few tourists, actually. Okay. All right. So the land reform, Neo-Confucian land reform. So let's talk about another scholar, Fan Chungyan, a reformer, who I call a reformer, year 989 to 1052. So again, a lot of this information is according to de Bary. Okay, wait, ooh, how much do I have? How much wine do I have? Oh, I have very little. I have like 4 units, so I could make a little bit more money here. Oh, but we have more people coming in, so that's good. Oh, server and laborer. Oh, we need people to do that. Okay, good. We don't have any archers. We don't have any gate guards at the moment. Oh, ox driver. Let's bring people in. Ox drivers are the people that go out and get tourists. Okay, no, that's good. We're starting to fill up our population here so that we have enough people doing everything. Well, let's waiter. Clay miner. Okay, yeah, we have a lot of clay down here. Blacksmith. We don't really have tools. Let's bring it up here. Winemaker, we're good. Rancher, we're good. We have a fair amount of meat, so... And they've really changed... Ooh, mortician. Do we have morticians working? Yes, we do. So there should be having somebody come. What about death? Does it say why? Naturally dead. Okay, so probably old age. I think this game does take into account age and stuff like that, too. Because we have a very, age 30 years, Maya. Yeah, very Song Dynasty name. I think that was something they did in a latest update. They gave English names to people. So, here is, I guess you can also change the name. Yeah, you can. Refugee. Ooh. Okay, yeah, they added refugees recently. Do I have a, like shelters? I don't know if I do. It doesn't look like I do, actually. Okay, so where's the civil, I think. It was a civil. Oh, yeah, I do. I do have a Kongi kitchen. Yeah, I do. And do I have a shelter? Yes, I do. Okay, and they don't... Oh, okay, that's good. And what is the relief officer? Okay, that's where it was. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, we're good. Okay. So what about this fella, Fang Chunyan? So he was a general and an official, and he was a prime minister during Jen Sung's time in power, from 1023 to 63. So he had a, quote, 10-point program as prime minister. So among his concerns were dealing with nepotism, exam reform, Confucian exam reform. So he wanted to focus on 3 areas: history and politics, the Confucian classics, and poetry writing. Imagine writing poetry as an official. Oh, fish. I don't really have enough fish to justify selling, so... Speaking of Confucian exams... Okay, later on I can actually build a, like, kind of a Confucian temple, or to help them increase their chances of winning, or passing an exam, like a lottery. Okay, now where's the prison, actually? Prison. No, I don't want to build another one. Okay, I have 3 current prisoners, 9. Okay, they're doing their time. Oh, good. Okay, so now I can take the gardeners off. So then everybody is there. So we only have 13 loafers, so we'll just let the farmers just do what they need. Just take care of their... Ooh. We have only $2 left, or two coins left. Okay, yeah, we're kind of running low on supplies here. Oh, back pay. Well, that's bad. You know what? I think I'm just gonna dismiss all of them right now. Problem is I get more loafers that way, so I'll just send them to go cut wood. That's a useful strategy, you know, if you get them to go cut wood, then you... Because loafers can, depending on the difficulty settings, loafers can start doing crime. Okay. Oh, good. We got some more money here. Oh, we got a bonus? I heard the ring. They're saying there was a bonus of some kind. I didn't see it, but... One criminal making trouble. Okay, go get him! Okay. Oh, man, we're running low on tools and everything. Okay, we have a lot of... shortages. Oh, and the monks can also go around and do something with the criminals and then make them stop, and then they get caught. Oh, good job. Bulletproof monk. Okay. So, continuing Fang Chunyan's process, his 10-point program, he also wanted to talk about land maintenance and agricultural protection. And also schools. Local schools to be staffed by local bureaucrats, right? And there were other points as well, but these are some of the main points that he wanted to do in his reform program. So the significance, according to William de Bary, was not the reforms themselves, but the fact that bureaucracy had to change, and was changed, to make those changes. Oh, 8 refugees settled here. Oh, that's good. I'm not sure what causes refugees in the game. If you have more refugees, there's more likely to be an attack later on. I'm not sure. Okay. And so changing that was revolutionary. The fact that the state was so important to these organizations and departments. So it was the fact to make a change, you had to change the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy had to be used. So the bureaucracy was the thing of everything, right? So yeah, there's the emperor, there's the mandate of heaven, and so on. But there's this whole idea of the bureaucracy is what had to change anything else. Okay, and then let's talk about another reformer, Wang Angshi, from 1021 to 86. So I call him the ambitious reformer. So Emperor Shang Tsung, wow, that sounds like Mortal Kombat, 1067 to 1085, according to Dardes and de Bary. So Wang Angshi was famous for his, quote, new policies. Okay, let's see. Let's get the gardeners back. Okay, we're not doing too badly for food, but we could be doing better. So de Bary said that Wang Angshi did not want many new reforms in his new policies, but the way he did it as a reform, but the way he did the reform was needed everywhere, right? So this is like not necessarily the policies themselves, but the fact that they needed to be done everywhere. Okay, let's remove the levy master. Let's reduce the costs there. We're doing some cost saving here. So Wang Angshu said that the Song Dynasty needed laws, right? They needed laws, like the legalists of old, but also men that had good skills and character, which is a key element of Confucianism. Okay, just wait 1 second here. I just want to double check something. Okay, yeah, we're good. Because I wasn't seeing the live notification on my phone, so I was kind of worried that I was just speaking to air. So, according to Bary, Wang Angshu's program, taken as a whole, was broader in scope and more diversified in character than anything attempted before or after him until communist rule. So that's a very bold statement. So what about the need for reform? So, according to the text, memorial to the Emperor Zhengxun, there were laws and they were enforced, but not according to, quote, the government of the ancient kings. So he wasn't advocating literally going back, but go back to that intent. That is, go back to their priorities and their goals regarding the government and families. Go back to the good old days. Not going back to everything, but go back to a little bit. Okay, unit price, no, it's not worth it. Okay, what else is going on? There's nothing else in the marketplace here. Man, lack of charcoal. What's going on? Do I have enough storage for things? Yeah, definitely. Okay. Wow. Well, I need to increase production here. That's the problem here. Okay, ranchers. Do I have ranchers? Yeah, I have ranchers. I have enough. Maybe I could do a little bit more here. Okay, ranch. Good. Okay, but the happiness is good, so I'm really happy about that. Money to buy for grain? Yes. Let's buy just a little bit. But it's already been used. Okay, we're almost at full capacity in terms of houses. Oh, income. Wow, 140. The good thing is we are getting pretty stable income, but we're running low on this. Okay, charcoal is charcoaling. Okay, what about these lumberjacks over here? They're kind of... Oh, that's a hunter's cabin. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. Where are the lumberjacks? Ooh, see, that's kind of useless. There's not much... Let's remove that one. Let's remove that one, too. And this one. Let's keep that one, because I like to have the lumberjacks a little bit far away. Or maybe close to where they're needed the most. Yeah, here we go. There we go. But again, maybe in the previous episode, I did mention that they did make a change where if there's anything new coming in, like if something's produced, it's just automatically put into your storage. It doesn't have to be physically brought by someone to a storage area. Okay, so here we go. Oh, 5 passed. Good. The Confucian exams. Okay. So another problem in Wang Angshu's time was not cultivating capable men like in the old days. So again, we're not cultivating the capable men of character like in the old days, with local schools that could teach principles of good governance. Schools were teaching, but they weren't developing human talent, right? That was the idea, according to Bary. So Confucian texts were taught, but they were just studies of the text, not the deeper meaning. Rote memory was not enough. So the officials had to be selected well at stages and allow them to fulfill duties without excessive bureaucratic regulation. So let's go beyond just bureaucracy and regulation. Let's actually get good people. Okay, okay, we can get a little bit, 15. Get a little bit more fish, just a little bit. Yeah, we're having a hard time feeding these people. How many How many fish producers do I have? How many fisheries? I have 2, so I mean, maybe I should just get another one. Okay, let's build another road up there. Yeah, it's kind of weird you have to build a little road first before you do anything. And let's do it over there. And then, I mean, if it doesn't have to be physically brought. Oh, good. We have lots more people coming in. Okay, and we have more ranchers over here. Aiden, Valentina. Oh, man. Lots of people passing away, too. Well, this is year 33, so... I don't know why they're dying, though. It just says naturally dead. I don't think it really says... Because they have things for disease, they have things like that, so I'm not sure exactly what the cause is. Okay, so Wang Angshi was inspired by a text called the Rights of Zhu. And what is this? Bary said that this was a 6th century Confucian commentary, so they're going back about 500 years here. Traditionally, the Duke of Zhu was a duke in the 11th century BC. So going back way back to the beginning of Chinese history. And this is according to Li Bo of the Institute of History at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. So so this was a very important text for Confucian students between the spring and autumn period, 770 to 476 BC, and the Warring States period, 475 to 221 BC. So now what's the context? This text, the Rights of Zhu, described how the early, I think Zhou dynasty, sorry, not Zhu, Zhou dynasty rulers, again, 1046 to 256 BC, how they set up power and they made the state to function. So this dynasty was a transitory period from the Shang dynasty's, quote, superstitious beliefs in gods, and more, kind of moving to a more secular governmental system that would, quote, lay the ground for Chinese politics for the next 1,000 years. So it was a more, according to Wang Angshi, the Rights of Zhou gave a more realistic and human polity. The Zhou dynasty was thus seen as an ideal model, and even Confucius himself, in his Analects, admired its regulations and laws. So Wang Angshi is like, let's go back to this text as inspiration. One thing I don't like, guys, about how I stream is that sometimes if I start talking, I read, and then I don't go around and start playing the game, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, how many... Okay, we have a lot of coal stokers now. Okay, our numbers are going up a little bit. What about kiln workers? Okay, how many folk kilns do I have? I have 2. They're right over there. Oh, I'm gonna make another one over there. Because we're kind of running low on that, because these tea houses also require these, right? How much porcelain do I have? I have very little, right? Oh, we have some weapons, we have some tools. What about the blacksmiths over here? Where's my forge? There we go. So one is creating... Okay, good. Let's try and get some more way stations. Okay, where are some of the things I have for the economy? The bazaar is here. The shops are here. Yeah, I got one over there. Tea houses. Because tea houses contribute to your economy, right? Folk stage. I do have a folk stage. Where's my way station? I have 2. I have over there. Fine tavern, but I want to wait until I get more money and stuff. Okay, let's... How many ox drivers do I have? I have 2. Let's get another one over here. No. Over here. And then Aroma Arena. Aroma Arenas. What do they do again? They... Okay, there's that one. Okay. Okay, well, let's get another spice shop, actually. Over here. And another aroma arena over there. Okay. Okay. So, Confucius, going back to the Zhou dynasty, he liked these ideas of usefulness or solid qualities, or zhi, and elegance or accomplishments, wen, zhi and wen. So he idealized the balance of these qualities. And so what about the rights of Zhou and Wang-shi? So he saw, practically, that there could be economic and political essence of the rights could fit with the Song dynasty. So again, going back to this ideal time, this idea era. So what about his new policies, Wang-shi's new policy plan? What about economy and production? So in the rights, there was this idea called Guang Fu, according to Leibo again. So there was this idea of economic distribution through regulation of reserves. And also he saw that society's well-being was the source of the country's economic strength. And the government should have increased control of economic growth, right? So there was this idea of having, quote unquote, we use now, big government, through a council that took control of mining, military, agricultural production, international and internal trade. So the government controlled the economy that used all local and national institutions, markets, etc. to improve economic efficiency. Oh man, what's going on here? Oh, man, so many people dying. Why? Oh man, that's really bad. Okay, well, there's a grievance here. What's going on? Okay, where's the funeral home here? Okay, we have two. Oof, man, what was going on with that? Unvaried diet, but I don't think that causes death in this game. Oof, man, that's really rough. Okay, well, that's being built. That's being built. Okay, are there any jobs that are not being done? Yeah. Oh my. Okay. Well. Okay. What's Ronald doing over there? Okay, well that's good. They're processing everything. Okay. Well, I guess we'll deal with that. Okay, 4 more months for city walls. Let's keep researching all of this so that we can kind of alter traditions. Yeah, that helps the bodies be burned rather than taken to a place. Let's do the provides more jobs. Large granary provides more jobs. Fishery expands the range. Let's make the fishers more effective. Okay, 9 people came. Okay, that's good. Okay, speaking of fisheries, what's going on up here? Oh, there we go. Right. Okay. Fishery over here. Okay. So loans would also be given out to farmers under these new policies so that they could repay during the harvest period. So the government got the interest and kept peasants safe from private, potentially exploitative lenders. Right. So this is this idea of government control and government controlled finances to help the economy grow. Right. I believe in the past with the Tang Dynasty, a lot of charity was done through temples and so on. But now the government is trying to get a little bit more increased control. Okay, that's good. The money is going through. Okay, good. We're getting food out. Okay, and the officials could resell goods under the new policy and then use the money to get things that the government needed. So this led to a strengthened, quote-unquote, government market, price control and stabilization. What about currencies? Oh, I didn't say much about currencies. Okay. In all of this, this allowed people to participate in the economy more easily. So now, what about military reforms? So these military reforms were needed to increase military strength against the Khitans and the Tanguts. Okay, we have a bit more money. We can buy a bit more fish, I think. Let's do this. There we go. We got a little bit more. What's going on? Okay, there we go. My computer was just wigging out a little bit. Okay, but the problems were, and this is a consistent problem in the Song Dynasty, there was a problem in the military with corruption, lack of military training, and civil officials or Confucian elites' lack of attention or respect towards military affairs, right? So the military was always this kind of, maybe not paper tiger, but there was always this problem with corruption. There was always this problem with corruption, and they could be bought out. They could be bought out. They could be turncoated against the Song Dynasty, or they could also be. And then also there was a lack of attention of what was going on, what was needed. So the solution was rotate recruitment to local militias for law enforcement and defense. So kind of rotate it more locally. So this whole idea was to skirt around a, quote, largely hostile regular bureaucracy, right? So that's the whole point that William de Bary was saying, that the bureaucracy had to be transformed or even avoided. Make the government more accessible to the people as well. That was the ideal. And so what about the exam system? So again, Wang Angshu was kind of going against the idea of mere rote memorization, a quote, for example, of Chinese history. So the exam system, so the essay was included in this system. It needed to show the meaning of Confucian text, right? Going beyond just rote memorization. Oh, Confucius said this. No. What does that mean? And how does it apply? So the essay was meant to show meaning of Confucian text, which were edited to actually include commentary to help examiners judge written exams, right? So again, going back to the text, but also not just going back to the text, but also being able to comment on them, being able to talk about them. What's the deeper meaning here? Okay, well, let's see what's going on. Okay, come on. Okay, let's get more farmland over here. And my music stopped. I like to play the music on Steam in the background. Okay, where's that fire, actually? Oh, man. Oh, it's over here. That's probably gonna burn up. Yep, it did. Okay, well, let's put a well here because that's better for... But I still have a lot of storage left. How many fire towers do I have? I have that one, that one, that one. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe I should put one over here, too. Okay, come on. Just burn out. If you're gonna burn out, just burn. Okay, there we go. And speed up time a little bit. Okay. So, so the exam system also later influenced the study of Confucian commentaries, as I mentioned, but also even Taoist texts. And this later influenced clinics and socialized cemeteries, right? So this is a whole broad system. According to Dardès, quote, the late Northern Song, years just before the Jurchen's destruction of it, was thus a kind of brief golden age, and the emperor who presided over it was also a cultural impresario, with deep personal interests in architecture, garden building, painting, calligraphy, music, medicine, and even Taoism. So here we are again with this idea of a scholar. Can I say a gentlemanly scholar, a scholar ruler, philosopher king? Like I believe that was Marcus Aurelius' idea. Oh no, that was Plato's idea. So, but now what about the conservative backlash against Wang Angshu? So there was so it's kind of like the legalist school from the Qin dynasty millennia before in the 200s. So they were thinking about the state and economic centralization. So their concern was, is this a true interpretation of the Confucian classics, right? You know, anytime there's any kind of reform or something like that, any kind of somebody is going to come along and have a problem with it and say, is this the true spirit of that? Is this the true interpretation of this? Right? And so there was actually, in the early 12th century, there was actually a crushing of conservatives who rejected the reforms. Probably, perhaps the fact that when the Jurchens destroyed Northern Song, perhaps the idea of the conservatives, those who didn't want to um, do much more, they were having an issue with that. And then, so if like, well, if these old ways were so great, why did we get destroyed? So the summary of the common theme, there's a common theme of getting back to Confucian ideals, but not stale way as they were applied in the Han and Tang dynasties. For example, literal knowledge of the classics in the exams. Go back, but with a new face, fitting the classics into modern contexts with contemporary needs. Okay, we actually have a hungry population. Oh my. Okay, so let's get the gardeners and the farmers. Let's get rid of all of the... Let's get rid of the luxury stuff. The retailers and so on. Let's get rid of those. Let's just focus on food right now because we need food actually. This is a little bit of an austerity measure. Okay, woodcutters, ox drivers. Okay, but we do need to have some money coming in, but yeesh, yeah, no. Let's reduce that. Oh, monks. I don't know. Because I do have money going to monks, but okay, let's see. Yeah, sorry guys. Nope. We're gonna have a little bit less variety here. We need to make sure that everybody has food. That's the thing we need to do. Food consumption, yeah, that's right. Okay. So now, what about Southern Song? Remember, there was the Northern Song that was destroyed by the Jurchens. We just mentioned that again. So what about in the Southern Song? Shortly before the Mongol conquest of Southern Song and the creation of their Yuan dynasty in China. So there was a Confucian elite or a fellowship. You know, we've talked about that, Confucian elites. The reforms we discussed were directed by this elite, not Wang Angshi's government-centered changes. So his reforms were a little bit, perhaps lackluster, if I can say. They weren't completely successful. Okay, now wait. What about economy? Okay, Taoist. Taoist. One thing I don't really care for in this game is the way the Taoists and the Buddhists are kind of done. Like, I'm not sure exactly how practical they are. Maybe someone else who's played this game more could tell me more. Let me see. Can I put over here? Okay, 3 teachings. You guys go together. Okay. So in both the Song and even the Mongol-created Yuan dynasty after the Song dynasty was destroyed, there were quotas on how many of these elites could serve in government. While the Jins and the Jurchen, or the Jin or the Jurchens in northern China, after they conquered northern China, simply expanded the bureaucracy to accept them into government service. So in the Song, in the Southern Song, and the Yuan dynasty, the Mongol Yuan dynasty, non-governmental elites could serve by teaching or contributing to the society's intellectual life. So in this way, they could help society or government in times of crisis, right? So the reforms in Southern Song were based on the work of Zhu from 1130 to 1200. Zhu brought together the texts, according to Keenan. And he has annotated 4 books were the base of the reforms. The 4 books, remember the 4 Confucian books? According to Dardes. So he thought of this way called Daozue. And so again, I don't know if that sounds almost South African, but Daozue. Okay, wait, what about alcohol? Can I sell any? Wine? Oh, I have no wine whatsoever. I can't buy any. I can't sell anything. Okay, but what I want food, and I want that, because if I let all the economic buildings have the food, then we won't really have enough food and storage, so we're gonna have a problem. Ranchers. Okay, ranchers are doing their thing. Fishers, hunters are doing their thing, yeah. Gardeners. Okay. No, I think we're good. What I want to do is I want to get ancestral, too. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, this one I can also do, I can get blessing points and then increase the crop yield, but it requires a lot. So maybe I can build another one. I have only one, right? Okay, so if I can get another one, you have to build them near houses for ancestral benefits. Okay, let's see over here. Just build it over there, I guess. Okay, so, Zhuzi, according to his annotated 4 books, were the base of the reforms, and he looked at the Daozue, which means learning of the way. So, Daozue, body of knowledge, a codified or solidified a sense of, quote, correct Confucian doctrine, and blended it with Buddhist spirituality and worldview. Again, this is the essence of Neo-Confucianism. This kind of spiritualizing of that. Oh boy, yeah, we're definitely buying. So we can buy vegetables now. Okay, that's very good. So this was a confirming of metaphysics. So we're going to get a little bit into the metaphysical idea here. So there was an ordering principle, or Li, and it affects matter. And then there was this idea of Qi, which is a great ultimate, which orders all things, according to Oldstone-Moore. People must cultivate themselves and investigate, to study, to align with this universal order. And this process included meditation in addition to mental discipline and learning. So again, as we've mentioned throughout this whole thing of Neo-Confucianism, this blending of kind of spirituality in Buddhism, and then also this kind of rational learning, self-cultivation in Confucianism, and bringing it all together. So this Daozue is kind of doing that. You have to meditate, you have to think, you have to do this, but you also have to learn, like a Confucian student. So the government would be guided by this new Confucian or Buddhist ethical system. This Confucian Buddhist ethical system would be guiding the government. So again, this is the essence of Neo-Confucianism. So in the mid-13th century, this became Southern Song doctrine, if you will, as the Mongols had just destroyed the Jurchen and Tangut polities. So the Jurchens who destroyed the Northern Song, the Mongols were coming for them now. And the Mongols even started adopting the Confucian system into their newly occupied territories. And as the Southern Song started to collapse, this created the, quote, spiritual orthodoxy, this Daozue, this Neo-Confucianism. So it's very interesting that Neo-Confucianism kind of investigates, like, okay, we'll adopt this Neo-Confucianism to see this collapse happened. What went wrong? We need to reform Confucianism. We need to go beyond just the texts. We need to go beyond this. But then when the Southern Song collapses again, it's kind of this cycle of reinvestigate, rebring, reform, and then collapse again. And that the same thing happened with the collapse of the Tang Dynasty before. And we talked about that in previous episodes. So now, what about the legacy of Neo-Confucianism? According to William de Bary, quote, the significance of Neo-Confucianism lies in its attempt to formulate answers to some of the most profound problems of human life. Problems which generations of Chinese, including many Confucian scholar officials themselves, had been turning to Taoism or Buddhism to find a solution. End quote. And then, according to Keenan, as China entered the 20th century, the metaphysical spiritual side of Neo-Confucianism kind of faded away. The goal of becoming a, quote, wise sage or learned master became obsolete. But the goal of self-cultivation, mastering oneself and discipling oneself to become a moral person, not necessarily a sage anymore, still remained vital. So that's what I would like to say about Neo-Confucianism. Kind of like going back in the previous episodes, and we went over that, but I think this is the 3rd episode I've talked about Neo-Confucianism, so I would like to talk about more other things later. I don't want to talk about Neo-Confucianism all the time. There's a lot in Song Dynasty that we can also talk about. I would like to talk a bit more about the military. I would like to talk more about Buddhism and Taoism, but I would like to talk about more things instead as well. And so that is something that I would like to do. But for now, let's just spend a little bit of time just playing a little bit of the game here, because I have a bit of a crisis here. I have people, let's see, we're running low on food, we're running low on supplies, we have a lot to do. So thanks a lot, guys, for listening to these lessons about about Neo-Confucianism and so on, and it was fun doing a lot of research and stuff for this, and I appreciate your attention, and let's just carry on with the gameplay. Because it really is hard to read something that I have prepared and print it out, and then I put it next to my laptop while I'm playing, and then I have to read, but then I just get stuck, not showing anything. So, let's see. How much? Last year, 15. Okay, they are getting stuff. They are getting meat. Oh yeah, we actually have a fair amount of meat, actually. And we're getting fish. Okay, that's good. Okay, yeah, but people are really unhappy. But, you know, it looks like we have a lot less death. We have less, dead bodies here, so that's good. I mean, that's always a good thing. Ooh, man, 32 people died last year. I think there was a bit of, hunger as well, so maybe that was why. Okay, about this. Okay, let's see. What else do we need here? Resources, food, vegetable, total output. Okay, yeah, output went out, total consumption. Yeah, see, here we have a deficit. Year 33, total inventory. But what I really want to do is I want to eventually get the, is Song House. Oh, nice. Okay. Fine tavern, but that's economy stuff. Okay, production. Food, fish shop. Cuts and air dries fish. Okay, but that's more of a luxury item, so I don't want to do that now. Winery. Can I shut down the winery? I don't think we need those. Winemaker. Yeah, I closed them, so. Okay, Taoists. Yeah, see, that's one thing that it's not really clear sometimes what the different religious buildings do. They send Taoists out to hold sermons and so on, and here the Buddhist monks go out to get donations. But I don't really notice otherwise what they do. Like the Buddhist monks will go out and then they come to a criminal and then make them stop. Maybe this is something that the developers haven't really implemented yet. And they reduce crime, supposedly, so that's good. But I don't know what else they do. Even the Confucian exams. For example, like we get these Confucian exams and we get some money if the students pass. But I haven't really noticed much else. So this is something that I would really like to see. Maybe I know that sometimes in my sandbox games I haven't really gone much further than, you know, building a bunch and then getting trade and so on. But then after that, I kind of run into a crisis. I often do that with my city building games. So, okay, ooh. Let's see, how many lumberjacks do we have? Oh yeah, we have. But we're kind of running low if we're not careful, so... Yeah, let's do this. Let's get a few more lumberjacks. Yeah, let's do that. That should be good. Okay. Yeah, so with all of these things, like I would like to see a little bit more. So maybe there's stuff in the game that I haven't really seen yet. And they are doing updates. Like they even did like kind of a career mode where you have to achieve certain things before you can proceed to the next level. So that could be pretty cool. I started playing with that, but I haven't gotten past the first stage yet. So they did that update about 2 weeks ago, I think. Okay, here we go. Okay, I like those numbers. Okay, let's plot. How many plots do I have? I don't have that much garden, actually, so... Okay, let's get some... Okay, there's that. There's this. Ah! Okay, there we go. Let's close down the spice shops, too. Boy, brutal. This is going to be a boring place to go. Okay, where is it? Perfumer. There we go. Yeah, let's cut that out. And he's a stonemason now. Okay. Whatever floats your boat, buddy. Okay, so stonemasons. Okay, yeah, I want to close that down. We did get some income, though. Yeah, because they do take spices, and I believe they help increase... Oh, wow, we have a lot of spice, actually. So we do have a little bit of competition. It's like the people come to pit newfound fragrances against others. So I think it kind of increases the amount of money that the spices make because tourists will come and sample spices and so on. Okay, did I do the tea house as well? Yeah, I did. I shut down I shut down everything. We're on survival mode here. Okay. All right. Okay, so textile mill. Man, what's going on with these blacksmiths? Like, what's going on? I think we just have so many things. Okay, forge. But we have so few tools. That's the problem. But we also don't have that much coal either. So that's why I would love to get more people to come. So then because you're not allowed to get a certain, let me see, civil. Yeah. Uh-oh. So shipping post. Yeah, you have to get a population of 600. Let me start the music again, actually. Don't stop the music. Okay, come on. Okay, let me just load here. Just wait. There we go. Okay, but, okay, oh boy. Okay, there are people coming. A Jurchen raid, maybe? Okay, let's get the gate guards back. Let's get the levy guards, the archers. And we're gonna get a little bit of money, but militias, I think, are okay. Oh, it helps if I unpause. Yeah, the militias, they don't cost any weapons, so... Okay, well, the good thing is, I mean, we do have enough people. Well, not really, because I shut down all those industries. Okay, good. We have another plot. Oh. How are you going to get across? Good, we're getting more people. Okay, that's good. Okay, good. So with more gardens here, I think this is good. Okay, I like this amount of food here. So let's get the Tea Master. No, servers. Let's get the servers out. Now the server is where again? I forget what building they go to. No, that's a laborer. Oh, that's the folk stage. Let's shut down the laborer, actually. Because, I don't know, the folk stage seems broken because it seems last year's income and viewers, but where's the money? Okay, in. I'm trying to remember which one is the server. Okay, just wait. Let me try and find it. Ah, yes. The rest stop. Yeah, no, that's a good one because they make the basic food, like the orders, like the bao, zalong bao, and all this stuff. Yeah, I do want those running if we can, because they help increase the basic happiness and everything like that. So. Okay. Okay, what the next plan is, like, I don't really, here, let's speed it up, actually. The next plan, I don't really have a plan at this moment. The biggest thing is just to get the food reserves up, because otherwise, you know, I won't be able to run any other industry or anything like that. Okay, well, I see some people. Oh man, are those people passing away or is that people leaving? People? Population? Yeah, it has gone down. Leaving residents, and there are none. Yeah, see, that's the thing. If the industry is going down, like, why would anybody want to come here? Christian, you know the problem. You gotta fix it. Okay. See, that's the problem in this game. Like, this is kind of like the kind of a crisis moment, I suppose. Sometimes you reach a point where you can't really support the whole population, but you need more people to come. So it becomes a little bit difficult. Well, that's part of the challenge, isn't it? Okay. Let's bring the ox drivers back. Let's get tourists back. Maybe they will be a little bit forgiving. Okay, we have more coal. That's good. So let's get the perfumers back. Do we have army people? Yes, we do. Good, we got some more people. Wait a minute. Where the funeral home is over there. I have 2 of them. I want to kind of build another one over here. Yeah, and then we'll just decommission one of these. No, I could sell grain, but I don't want to do that. Unvaried diet. Yeah, see, that's a problem. Good. Ooh, look at that. That's a lot more vegetables. That's good. And we'll keep the basic food thing going. We'll keep that going. But we won't do, like, the fancy, bizarre things, like the kind of more luxury foods, like the more advanced ones, like at the bazaar and so on. We'll shut that down for now. Because also the Kongi kitchen also needs... how many refugees do we have? The refugees, foreigners, nobles. So we have 25 refugees. Yeah, exactly. So we want to keep that. Oh, boy. Where are they? Okay. Let's see. Where are they coming from? Well, that's where they're coming from. Where are they going? It looks like they might be... Ooh. They might be... Oh boy, that might be a place where I don't have anything. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go get them over there. I'll get an archer. It's a little bit expensive, but we do need them. Yeah, he's coming here. Oh, come on, guys. There is an archer tower here. Ah! Let's see, okay. They're fighting. One of my groups got killed. Oh, phew. Oh, wow, this group did really good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Oh boy, that's nasty. But it'll be taken care of. Okay, it looks like we're... Yeah, a lot of dead bodies there. Don't have an archer, but... Okay, let's see. Mortician should be coming up and cleaning it up. Yeah, there we go. And they're close, they're relatively close to the burial point, so they can bring them over there. There we go. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. And they didn't... yeah, because see, I don't want to have archers everywhere because it's a little bit expensive. Maybe... Maybe I can do this. Yeah, I think that's good. And then I'll build a gate later. Yeah, and I'll build a gate later. Maybe not right now, because usually, if there's one attack, a lot of times it will kind of subside a little bit. Then what do we have here? Okay, then oh, yeah, well, it didn't subside that much. Close that gate. But don't get close, I dare ya! Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, let's... Okay, after this, this fight is done, I'll get rid of this archer tower, because these two are the most important. There we go. Okay, let's remove that one. Okay. Okay, well, the happiness has gone up. Whoa, my goodness. What? Ooh, close the city gate. The good thing is they're focusing on these stakes here. Oh man, this is actually a lot of enemies. Oh, good. Good. Look at that food going up. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. We have to manage that. Okay, now let's try getting the retailers back. Let's try getting the retailers back. So that maybe we can stimulate the economy a little bit more. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now we're just keeping the archers and the militia here, just in case. Taoist. Okay, there's a Taoist there. I don't think I've ever seen that before, actually. Okay, that's nice. That's a good change. Sometimes, you know, these little changes that come, and then they, you know, just, you know, I don't think I've ever seen a Taoist walk around the streets before in this, so it's good to see something different. Okay, get the farmers back. I think this music they play when, like, an Arab trader comes. Okay. Okay, I think we've been on here for about an hour and a half. We're going to continue with this, and I'm going to have more materials. Definitely going to have more materials. I would like to talk about more about society in general, a little bit more about culture, because we've talked about Neo-Confucianism a lot. So anyway, guys, I appreciate your attention. And thank you so much, and God bless, and we'll take care. We'll see you soon.